almost too close for comfort.
We live?
Yeah. Woo!
The birds live.
The birds are living through the Thanksgiving weekend, which is a miracle in itself.
Yeah. The waiting game with the courts continues. But what we do know is it's 2 o'clock or just after 2 o'clock, 2:04 PST, which means that it's 5 o'clock Eastern, which means the courts are closed, the federal courts are closed, which means they still haven't ruled if the birds get a say of execution, if the Supreme Court will hear arguments. And so, as always, no news is good news.
Definitely in this story, that is 100% the case. Today, the birds are, I'm hearing two different numbers, 270 or 271 days, healthy and asymptomatic, for an avian flu that went through this now healthy flock 10 months ago. And yeah, Thanksgiving weekend, they're preparing. They got a lot of donations of turkeys. I did a quick interview with Katie, and she said they're all set up. There's a band coming. They're, of course, inviting everybody to come and celebrate with them over the Thanksgiving weekend. But what are we doing?
We're going home.
We're going home.
I would stay, but I think Thanksgiving is actually at my house. And so I need to go home. I can't leave this for my poor, sweet, beloved mother-in-law to handle 30-some people coming to my house. I feel like I have to be there. I haven't really been home since last Thursday.
Right, yeah.
I was in Toronto for the Student Journalism Conference. I came home in the middle of the night Monday and then left early Monday morning to come here, and you've been here since Monday.
Yeah, I've just been becoming an ostrich.
She's
here, so I'm
She
going to go
belongs
home for the long weekend. I'm sure you guys understand, but we will be back at the first sign of trouble.
Or you know what? Can I just interrupt? We are leaving you in excellent hands because our friend Chris Dacey, independent journalist from Ottawa, is here. He's staying over the Thanksgiving weekend. I think he might be considering going home early next week.
Yeah.
But he's here.
Yeah,
So-
he literally said, since you guys are going, go home, you'll stay.
We're not leaving it unattended. We're leaving the place in good hands. Chris will be sure to bring you any sort of news that happens here.
Yes. And I don't know if it got out, but Sheila had a really good report today about
Should be out soon.
Yeah, what she's learned from the American Ostrich Association. I have a report coming out about the crazy, we've been talking about government overreach here, but I didn't realize how it's impacting
It's
their neighbors.
spreading.
Yeah, it's really bad. So a full report to come on that as well. And of course, I'll be keeping an eye and ear on anything and in contact with the farmers here at Universal Ostrich Farms, who continue to be at an unprecedented standoff with the Canadian Food Inspection Agency. Well, I'm pointing at where the CFIA is. They're way down there. And the cops. I was speaking to one of the supporters who's been here, I think, every time I've been here. And he helps with security a lot. So the farm has a lot of people with eyes everywhere, including in Vernon. Their estimation, of course, this is just an estimation coming from their supportive security team, is that it could be as high as 100 officers when you consider online task force, when you consider the setup over here, down the road a bit, when you
And then like the shift
the
rotation.
shift, that's what they're counting, the people that are in standby in Vernon. Who knows how big this really is.
It's a lot though. In fact, it's too much. I'm sure these police officers didn't sign up to go to RCMP Depot in Regina to then be on Ostrich Watch. However, if your options are tackle meth heads in BC or just hang out in nature with the ostriches, I can understand why they're here. I mean, I'm here too for similar reasons.
Well, that's a whole other story, but yeah. Is there anything you wanted to add before maybe I talk with some of the supporters? We're seeing almost a shift in supporters as well coming here. Some are coming here to spend the long weekend here at the farm.
Choosing to spend their long weekend at the farm as part of their family and freedom, really. So I admire it. However, I will be facing family drama if I don't eventually go home as much as I want to stay. But Drea, just let me say, and I'm sure those of you who are watching, I'm so proud of you for the work that you've done here. I know that your family has joined you here.
Some of them
in and out, but I mean, you are
so that I could be here longer.
You're right, but you are a mom to a little guy, and your daughter's a little older. And let me just say this: thank you, Drea's family, for letting her come here
and my husband
and do the work that she's doing. I think it's so important. I touched on it last night, but one of the reasons this story has really captured the hearts and minds of so many around the world is through the good-naturedness of the farmers here and their compelling story, but also through your accurate journalism, because a lot of what we do here is just cutting through the rumors and bringing you the straight facts as it happens. And I think those of you at home know that you can really trust Drea to be on this story for like any development that happens. And as the editor-in-chief of Rebel News, let me just say I am so incredibly proud of the work that you're doing here.
Well, thank you. If I was of a lighter complexion, I'd be blushing every time my colleagues are saying that, but my nice skin color hides that. But you're right, we are sifting through facts and fiction, and this is a highly emotional situation. So I would say the farmers are doing a good job at that too. They do a really good job at trying to rein it in. But people are overhearing discussions and things like that. So this is also why you haven't seen a public post or anything really from us about the whole Carney, Trump did or did they not speak about ostriches. Don't worry, I'm working on getting the facts.
Me too.
We're gonna try to get the facts on that before you hear us speak to it. So yes.
If you want to see and support Drea's journalism, she's been living in a van. She's van lifing down here,
and I wasn't a big camper before.
But you're getting good at it.
No
you're getting good at it. I am a big camper, and so I actually brought my big camper here. If you want to see and support our journalism, you can do that at savetheostriches.com. But there's also another ability for you to get involved there. You can send an email at savetheostriches.com as well.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of sort of revamping that as we're in a new stage of this. So I will do a piece on that once I figure out where we should be targeting our efforts. But for now, if you haven't already engaged in that, please go to savetheostriches.com, click on the one-click email, and continue to apply respectful pressure in the right places. So we're helping. And, we have this operation. We have Lyndon with us right now, too, because this is a big deal. Again, look at the operation between the RCMP as well as the CFIA. Now they've got the media. Now they've got the mainstream media going after them, going after us now. They're trying to...
We're far-right agitators down here, can't you see?
Rebel News is covering it. So they're putting all the stops out here, and that's when we're in the right place as Rebel News to make sure you guys are getting the accurate side of the story. So please share the reports, because a lot of people are now invested in this story. Let's break through that echo chamber so that they can see, hey, there's some significant things being left out in the mainstream media.
The actual
when they
science,
talk.
by the way.
The actual science. They literally are interviewing this one specialist, Angela Rasmussen. Yes, who's literally saying the science is the least important part of this fight. So why are you interviewing her for the expert in science?
I actually think it's the most important. But
I think it's a lot to do with why
me.
these birds are having to die. In case you don't know what we're talking about, it's because they're not in the last handful of years being used for food consumption, but instead their eggs, their robust antibody-rich eggs, are being used to further therapeutic viral research to try and combat viruses like COVID-19, and now they could do that with avian flu.
But a whole host of other diseases too, and it's specifically because of ostriches' robust.
Yeah, they have weight loss pills that they were about to bring to market that compete with Ozempic.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on.
They're coming up to see us. Let me get out of the way.
Now. They're happier now. Yeah, I know. You guys are like, enough of your heads. But they're much happier ever since the farm's veterinarian showed up that day. These birds are way happier since the vet was allowed to walk through and look at how they're feeding. They've been fed properly, it looks like. So we're happy to see that because they looked pretty sad. But I'm sure they're still missing their farmers who love them. All right. Any last words before I talk to the people?
No. Just thank you for those of you who are sharing our work, supporting our work here from on the ground at Universal Ostrich Farm. And thank you for trusting us to get this story right when so many people are getting it wrong. We could not do this work without those of you at home.
Absolutely. Thank you guys as well. Thank you, Sheila.
Bye, Drea. I have to reach through
It's like
this.
12 hours or something.
It's 12 hours for me.
Yeah,
to get home.
8 for me.
I have to reach through this fence because I have to get it off this. It's okay, come get me, CFIA. I'm going to reach through this fence because I need an ostrich feather for my cowboy hat. So that's what I'm doing now.
Well, if it's any condolence, the cops also went through that barrier. I think there's even a picture of the cop's hands going through the fence towards an ostrich. I think he was grabbing a feather. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I don't know what Sheila's doing over there either. Let's just ignore that. Let's just see.
Hi, Drea. How are you?
Good. Now, you've been treating the ostriches with some beautiful dancing.
Yeah,
And they
like interacting, and I've been using my flags almost like wings.
Yeah.
So they do this dance where one wing goes up and the other, and then they like specific songs. I notice they have favorites.
You know
So
what?
I'm about to play one. We'll see how they interact.
For those of you who are thinking maybe she's lost it, she's not.
No.
First of all, they like dancing.
Yeah, they do.
And that's exactly how they dance. And I have actually noticed, and I don't know if they were always like this or maybe they just kind of got used to so many people coming here and looking at them. Like when people hit the drums, there's some drums over there, they calm right down and they come over. They really do love that.
They like the
And-
tribal bass beats. They do their own
Does
tribal
Sheila
bass beat
really?
at night too.
Oh my
Ostrich
gosh.
feather.
Oh,
If you see me at next year's Pinoca Stampede, this will be in my cowboy hat. Bye, thanks, guys.
Bye. To be fair, that has nothing to
she's
do
so
with
cute.
the farmers. The farmers were not involved in that.
just on the ground.
It floats. It
Litter
floats
at
there.
that moment.
There is no illness. I just want to make sure we know that it wasn't the farmers. So,
Everything's healthy.
yeah, everything is. And I may or may not have saw a child picking his teeth with the. But no, I'm just joking. Okay, so you are dancing, entertaining for the ostriches. But why was it important for you to come here?
Oh man, there's so many reasons. I've been following the story for months. It does kind of twinge me in a personal way for lots of reasons. Obviously, I love animals, but it's not just about the animals. This is a bigger picture story that I really resonate and get. Because I'm actually in my own lawsuit and battle, and when you see other people fighting kind of the same things, injustice, then you want to rise up. And also, you can be very easily empathic when you're on kind of that same mission.
Yeah.
They have the same lawyer as me. So, and they have a
Omar
really good
Sheikh is their lawyer.
amazing
He's working
lawyer.
his
So
butt
shout out
off.
to him. Yep. So he's busy with this right now. So I'm not going to bug him about ours, but it's going to get to that. But just that, even that little connection. But the fact that like when you watch it for months, you do get connected to the story. And this is not about a virus. Just like COVID wasn't about a virus. It's about control, manipulation, and then taking over people's rights and freedoms. And there is no accountability. They make up the rules as they go, though, with the CFIA, and they just, they're trampling on our rights. And because my own human rights were trampled on, we do need to rise up and say something and do something. So that's why I wanted to come here. I felt very strongly encouraged as well to just pray around the perimeter. I just actually today felt led to go all the way up to the entrance. I anointed the entrance with the oil and prayed for anyone that comes through to be protected and blessed, and anyone that comes through will actually feel a shift as well in the spirit realm, that they are touched by God's spirit here, because God's behind this as well. And all of these entranceways too, like just it's powerful to walk them in the perimeter and pray not only over the ostriches but the farm, the family, the supporters, and just bless this place with prayer. But then I have brought my worship flags, so they like certain music and certain songs, and because I'm worshiping the same creator that created them, they actually do feel a connection with this. So I'm about to dance with them right now.
Well, maybe I'll get some of that. But you're right. They are sort of wise creatures. When you look in their eyes, you can really see that, I don't know, they know a little bit more than we give them credit for. Just like their eggs hold the key to a lot more than, let's say, poultry, let's say chicken and things like that. But you're right to make that connection with the overlap. Well, I'll try to get some of you dancing when you're doing it, and I'll just
I'm
grab.
sure they'll join me in the dance.
Yeah, let's see here. All right, you're taking a look at the ostriches. So, what's your thoughts? I know this is your second time you've come out. but I don't think we got to talk to you last time. So why was it important to come out here?
Yeah, I think every Canadian has a responsibility in this situation. Each one of us, as I said, has a responsibility for these ostriches. They are healthy, and the first time I came here, I kind of fell in love with them. And every day I was thinking, when can I come back? And I came back today.
I'm going to pause. Look at this one hen. She's got blue eyes, and she's lighter than most of them. She's very pretty. I hope you guys can see her. Her eyes are sort of a purplish blue. But you're right. I do think that it's so great if you can come in person, because then you see the sort of lie unfold, that beautiful hen there is supposed to be some risk to everybody around. But what do you make of the operation you're also seeing here? The amount of resources being used.
So I sat down here on the scaffolding. I kind of put the numbers all together. Give or take, this operation at the lowest point is costing Canadians $500,000 a day. Literally, if you have $100 bills, you couldn't burn them as fast at the same pace as they're spending it
That is
in a day. And that's minimum $500,000.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to get to the bottom of the costs involved here and get those numbers, but that's going to take quite some time. But you're right, this is operating day in day, and we haven't even really seen a whole lot. Like, you'd think they would just have maybe a couple police, a couple CFIA. It's still a whole team working around the clock, trading off shifts. For what? The Supreme Court is trying to decide what's going on here. Oh, they're coming to the music, like she said. Look. They're all coming over. Look, they're like, what's going on? And I'll show you some of the dancing now.
Drop of blood you bleed, it's me breaking free. I never promised it would be easy, but don't worry, you got me. It's time to ride. Lift your eyes. It's time to ride.
Well, that's beautiful. The ostriches are so used to people coming and loving on them. And then over here, they've got the RCMP. And the RCMP, you'll see in an interview I have with Katie coming up, are, saying that, they've never seen something so peaceful. Well, I don't know if that's true. They're just trying to get in the good books with everybody, but it definitely is peaceful. Let's talk to some over here. Hi guys, you want to introduce yourselves and what brought you here?
Hi, I'm Cynthia.
Yes.
And I came here back in July for Farm Aid, and I played in one of the bands. I was backup singer and percussion, and I continue to help the family and the farm with the ostriches because they need it. It's just too much. It doesn't even make sense. I'm in the medical field, and it just doesn't make any sense what they're doing. If they have herd immunity, does that go the same for people who get sick with these infectious diseases? That we have to get rid of them? And they say, well, the migrating birds, well, are we going to get rid of all the migrating birds? Really? We're not going to get rid of all the migrating birds. We have to keep them. And they're part of the ecosystem, part of the food chain.
Absolutely. Hopefully you guys could hear her, but she's just pointing out what you all know. This is ridiculous. And she's being modest. She's been cooking up a storm here. I saw her late last night, cleaning when most people were asleep or relaxing by the fire. Bye. See you guys.
Everybody, bye.
Bye. There goes Sheila, Gunn, Reid, and Lyndon. But, the labor of love, and I think you've been helping with the porta potties.
Yeah.
You've been exposing, like we're doing here at Rebel News as well, you know, showing what's helping, but you're also helping in the kitchen at times too. So tell everybody.
Wherever needs be, right? We did firewood. That was my most fun because we got to go out in the back 40 and, you know, check out some terrain, see some wild berries and stuff, and understand where we were amidst the wilderness, right? So that was a really good break. That's what I've enjoyed so much. As well as this is great people every day. It might be a new crew in the kitchen or whatnot, but everybody pulls together and gets everything done. Like I said, you never have to worry about there not being toilet paper in the porta potty, never mind a seat like you would find at a 7-Eleven, for crying out loud. You know, these things are, you know, almost 5-star hotel quality some days for sure, right? So, and again, the company coming to clean it up, they're doing it pro bono from what I understand, and doing such a good job of keeping up and communicating all this, right? So,
yeah, lots of support. I hear grocery stores donating and other companies. At one point there was a scissor lift here for a few days. Now, I remember you were here, you know, the really emotional day where I don't know if it was probably the day after, correct me if I'm wrong, but when the operation had unfolded, the farmers were still in the pen trying to care for their animals. And there was so much emotions. You know, people were, of course, yelling at the cops, but it's quite a different feel now, right? So why don't you talk about the difference, and what are you live streaming for so people know?
Well, I came out here to take my dog for a walk because I'd seen this going on Facebook, and it seemed every day I was seeing a new one, but I wasn't seeing much on the TikTok. And I remember during, like you mentioned, the convoy days and even COVID, much of the intellectual conversation was coming from apps such as Instagram or TikTok or these live stream things. And I'm not a big Facebook guy because I've gotten tired of it over time, I think. And COVID, I'll admit, a lot more open and aggressive with my opinion on the whole thing. And again, I don't think I've been proven much wrong, if any. But so I came out here, I was taking my dog for a swim where I live a couple hours away, and something just told me, hey, you know, there's that river near Edgewood, and there's a lake, right? It's connected to the Kootenay Lake, so that'd be a good place for him to go for a swim too. We've never been there, right? So, and I thought, you know, I want to see what's happening at this ostrich farm. So I plunked it into Google, and away we went. And nice long, you know, long drive, slow drive, but a long drive. And then I came out here, and the first day I was told that, you know, even my dog could be subject to their mass hysteria of wanting to get rid of these perfectly healthy creatures.
Yeah, and they have killed pets in the name of their stamping out policy, you know, because some pets familiarize themselves and even help with livestock.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, again, and my dog basically told me that day he gave the utmost respect to these creatures like I've never seen with any other animal. And we intentionally bring him around other farms for this reason, so he understands his place in the ecosystem and what to do when he's around, you know, things like deer or whatnot in the wild as well, right? So to kind of allow those ungulates and stuff to just do their own thing, right? So it was important for me to come here and see, not only knowing that he would be respectful of them, but the way he connected with them told me I had to come back.
Yeah.
And like I said, I went on a barefoot walk with him here, and that's where I just really had this moment where I said, these are more than just a bird. These are more than livestock. There is a very, very, very important value to these creatures, and call them your brothers and sisters, because believe it or not, it's that important, and we're that closely connected. And I was really, really thankful that we managed to have an already pre-positioned, I guess I could call it, network within TikTok. But I wasn't there during the convoy as one of these big creators. But somehow we broke that link, and we managed to get that web clear across and connected. And it made this whole spiel as it was unfolding be right there. And I was encouraging people to screen record and screenshot and do what they can, not only to uncover, you know, again, yes, these men in blue are our brothers and sisters. We all have neighbors. And are you happy with your neighbor being out here doing this? When again, there's people accosting people in a Walmart, for crying out loud. And there's a 30-minute response to that. So...
yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
well said.
thank
and
you
yet,
so much, Drea.
for the most part, animal humane societies, most of them are silent still. There's been a few that have spoken out. I know the farm is in contact with the Darwin Society, I believe it is. And so they're really supportive of the cause here as well. But I have a report coming up for you about how this overreach is affecting the neighbor. They're actually, I didn't even know there was a house right there you guys have seen us many times standing in front of the police. I didn't know that they're actually lined right in front of a home that's kind of behind the trees here. And that family had been away since we've been here this last time, since the CFIA came. And they had to watch in horror their own property being taken over by the RCMP, by the CFIA. They watched it just like you guys on live streams. But one of the things, she's actually Katie's cousin. But what she was saying was it was so bizarre when they actually came back home and they have all these restrictions on how to use their own home, even though it's not their farm. And she's going, you know, this is so weird, like seeing it in person and there's so many cops. And she goes, but in the background, I can hear Relvis performing. So Relvis was the Elvis impersonator. His name is Ralph. Elvis, I'm being corrected, but I think he's gone home. But that's kind of how it is here. There's crises happening all the time, but at the same time, there's this community spirit. Can I ask you why you came out? Or? Go ahead. Yeah. Or whoever. Yeah. Why was it important for you guys to come out? I know Jess has been here back and forth, even shared a birthday here the other day. And I think maybe you're newer here. Is that
I am.
right? Yeah. See, I'm starting to recognize faces now, like who's new, who's not, like, you know. So why was it important to be here today? Let's face here this way. Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
I came out here with my best friend Jess. You know, I came to support this cause. There's a lot of underlying stuff going on here other than just the ostriches. Just my presence here is enough for me, and I don't know. There's too much going on in the world that people don't know about.
Mm-hmm. How does it, now that you've seen the birds in person and you've seen the cops and everything like that, what stands out to you about what's actually happening while you're on the ground?
Honestly, everything that I see, they're just chilling there. I believe what's going on right now is kind of a mask. What's going on? I see through that mask, and it's kind of sad. But at least everybody's here right now. It's a good environment. We're all here for the best cause. I'm just disappointed in the human race, but it's not up to me to say.
Yeah, well, I think the humans are coming together, it
They
seems.
should. We need a
Yeah.
higher state consciousness, collective consciousness.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. So I'm walking. There's a campfire always going, although, you know, and I was cold this morning, but it's very hot. But see, there's the fire going all the time. And I wanted to talk to one lady. She was sitting here, and she wanted to tell a story.
Mom.
Oh, there she is.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, there's my little guy.
Hi.
How are you doing? Are you sad that you're going? It's almost, you've only got a few more minutes, and then we're taking off. He's become an ostrich, too. We're starting to.
This from
There's
office.
Chris Daisy.
This is your
Thank
chair.
you. Yes.
The other rebels have departed.
Hi.
Thank you.
It's a good thing I homeschool. I was able to do it.
There's the lady.
Oh, there she is. Hi. Hi, Bev. Bev's scared now. Well, actually, I wanted to talk to you about what happened the other day. Okay. I think I was out recording something else. And let's walk over here. It's just a little bit loud.
Thank you, Drea, for doing all the wonderful work you're doing.
Thank you. Can you come away from the sound a bit? Sorry, guys. She's got an interesting story. But the generators, I think, are a little bit loud, so she's going to come over this way. And then we've got a couple of the other farmers out, so I think I'll end by wrangling them together.
You can go sit by the table there. She's inviting me to listen.
Yes. All right, this is Bev now. You've been here a few times. I've seen you here a few separate times here. Let's go back under the tent a bit more. There you go. All right, there you go.
Careful.
Now, you came from Winnipeg, right? Or Manitoba?
I flew in from Toronto.
Toronto. Oh, but you're
But I live in Manitoba.
Okay, so why was it important to keep coming back?
I was sent for.
Oh,
They asked me to come back.
Really? Yeah.
The people that are here, they from donations, they were going to send money for gas, but it was too expensive. So we said, just book a flight.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
Okay. Now, Bev is the only one who's been permitted, from what I can see, to go behind the police lines over there. I wasn't around to capture. I was covering something else. But tell us what happened.
Well, when I flew in that night, one of the things I wanted to do was go to where we had done ceremony and put some ceremonial things up in the tree, cedar tree.
The last time you were here?
No, the very first time I was here.
First time.
And so there was the yellow line there. So I went up to, I think his name is Dennis, and I said, I would like to go to that tree there, ceremonial stuff there. He says, oh, I can't. He says, we have to ask the liaison from the CFIA. I said, okay. He says, and they've gone home for the day. Oh. He says, let's try in the morning. So I went there first thing in the morning. He was there. He made a phone call, and he said, 5 minutes. No, he says, he'll be here in 5 minutes. I said, oh, wow, I have to go to my tent and back. So he was back before I even got back. The other guy.
Okay.
So then we went in. Well, first we talked at the yellow line, and I explained to him what we'd done down at the field there by the river, and he shared that he was First Nations himself. I said, oh, that's nice. So he said, yeah, you can go in. How much time do you need? How much time do you need? I'll give you 30 minutes. Take as long as you want, he said. I said, okay. So he says, oh, can I come with you? I don't know, yeah, if you want. I won't bother you. I said, that's fine. But he came right beside me, and he ended up staying.
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, I said, you know what? That RCMP officer, he's the one that I spoke to first. I think he should be here. Okay, I'll go get him. So he got up and he went to get him. And then they both came. And they were part of the ceremony with me.
Yeah.
They also got tobacco. Tobacco is our leader. And they wanted to know what to do with it, so I told them. And they went into the bush, and they went by the tree where our things are hanging, and they offered their tobacco. One, the inspector is First Nations, from what I understand, himself. And the other one, Dennis, the RCMP officer, has worked in First Nations communities, so they're aware of the cultural piece, you know.
And you said you felt like the police don't want to be here and be a part of this when you had those interactions.
Yeah, well, the one's in liaison, right? Well, he is part of that.
Yeah, they're part of calming it down. Now, what about from a perspective of the narrative that the CFI is saying these animals have to die 270 days after they've been healthy? What is the cultural perspective on that?
So from my walk, we are life givers. Women are life givers. We are the life givers, and in our ways, you know, before colonialism and all that, there was our clan mothers were the ones that were responsible to make decisions and guide the men, sort of thing. I forgive me if I'm saying it wrong, but our clan mothers were important, as well as the matriarchs. There's a difference between them, and that's the clan mother is the firstborn or lastborn, and the matriarchs aren't firstborn or lastborn. So I'm a matriarch. So when I got here, I wasn't quite sure why I'm here. I go where spirit corrects me, and when I got the call to come down, I said, I'll give you 8 days. And so it took 2 days to get here. I was going to do 4 days down there, ceremony, and 2 days back. Well, Manitoba was on fire, smoke. So I had to cancel my water walk, which I do every year, every spring. And I canceled it. So anyway,
Oh, no worries.
I'll be right
I was
back.
more asking, you know, about the fact that the CFIA is saying the birds must die for an illness that went through 10 months ago. And I was wondering, since you're talking a lot about your culture, what is the...
Well, it has to do with the egg.
Yeah.
That's from the female.
Yeah.
That holds the medicine. Women, and they want to kill them. Well, we're about life.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, life. So
yeah.
So it's a spiritual. It's it's not political. It's for it's spiritual. It's a spiritual piece of the holistic. because we live compartmentalized, right?
We do. That's where they want us, in different
Yeah,
compartments.
and that's not the way.
Thanks, Bev.
Okay.
Now let me go and try and snatch Karen before she disappears. Karen Esperson is co-owner of the farm. She's out in the village. She's out of the farmhouse, and she's not as doing as much as she normally does.
We'll sleep in the truck, but we got heated seats and that. But I think we're just gonna head back to.
Oh,
Yeah, because we got a hotel we've been living in for a week. So I'll just leave you guys alone.
Sorry, hi. I'm just about to sign off for the long weekend. And
We love you
cheers,
so
Karen.
much.
Well, we love
so
you
much.
too. Everybody watching loves you
So
too,
much.
and the fight that you've done. Can I have a
Thank
couple of
you.
words with you? I don't want you
Sure.
totally in the sun, but here,
Sure.
right here. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I was just saying that before, when I come here, you'd be up very early and you'd be in the pen, and you're still working really hard. I see that. But what does it feel like not being allowed to help your birds and being divided from them by this blue fence?
It's odd. It's weird. I feel lost.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah. I mean,
It is. I think it's the hardest thing is when you do something every day. And the first thing I do is look at the weather and try and calculate, when the best time is to be there and doing farm stuff. And right now we'd be doing winterizing. And so I passed all these notes on to CFIA and I said, welcome to my life. And we have stuff to do, so we really need them bedded out. And that's a strong message right now is it's getting colder. We need our waters winterized, our hoses picked up, and we need bedding for the birds.
and for a non-farmer like me, bedding, exactly. I mean, it sounds obvious, but what does that all entail? What should they be doing?
We cleaned out the largest barn, and we have a secondary roof that has to be put back into place. And that'll house about 100 of the birds. And then the rest of the barns just need to be cleaned out with the bobcat, scooped out the manure, so it's all low, nice to the ground and fresh. And then we put in about 1/2 foot of beautiful straw bedding, so when they get cold, they can all go in there and huddle together and stay warm and dry.
So you sent these instructions, but you have not heard back from the CFIA. And I remember when they first came in and they first took jurisdiction here, they said they wanted you and the rest of the farmers to continue with care. Did you ever find out why that abruptly changed?
No, we asked them and they just said it was what it was and that they didn't need us all of a sudden. So then now we're writing all these letters to them they're not even replying like, okay, we'll take care of the bedding. Well, you've got 500 straw bales. Surely you can sacrifice a couple and bed out the farm and just make sure that the animals are taken care of right now.
Well, that's their job. This is all supposed to be humanely done. I'm happy to see that it seems, from my non-expert opinion, that the birds are getting food properly now. Do you agree?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely
so
not.
let's hear it. Is it better? Something looks better.
Okay, I would say they're probably giving more than what they were doing.
Okay.
They were in the back of a truck we would do 26 buckets of 5-gallon buckets on the farm, supplemented grains, and we have mineral and oyster shell that goes in that. And then the second cut hay, which is very vitally important to have part of their diet too. And we were watching them with a big garbage can just dump like a little cup per bowl. And we would do 1 5-gallon bucket for 3 bowls. Wow. So that really disappointed us, but now they're just dumping it on the ground behind a truck. So half the birds don't even know they're being fed, kind of thing. And it's almost like they're trying to get them to chase the truck, I think. But they're eating on the ground, which CFIA also frowns upon, right? You're supposed to be in your bowls. And here they're dumping all of their feed on the ground. So it's just disappointing, their care right now for us.
Any last words going into this Thanksgiving weekend with the birds as we're here 271 days, healthy, happy, strong for the most part? Of course, they're missing you and proper care. But any last words?
Yes, it's a Thanksgiving weekend and we're here in a prayer and we give thanks to the good Lord and all the amazing people, and we're going to count our blessings that they're still alive. They're still here. We still have the fight. and be blessed for what we do have.
Well, thank you so
love you,
much. Happy
tons.
Thanksgiving.
Yes,
I'll
happy
see you guys
Thanksgiving
soon.
to you too.
All right. Take
Love
care.
you, Drea.
Love you too. All right, there you have it. I think that's my last live stream for right now until I come back, most likely next week, of course. And yeah, that's the last look of there. So I do have some reports coming up for you at SaveTheOstriches.com as well that pertain to this ongoing developing story. And you can find that, all of the background, how to support us, and the GoFundMe links when we mention the farm's name to support the farm. All of that good stuff is at SaveTheOstriches.com.